everybody. I want to go over the week 2 assignments with you to explain a little bit more how you are to do them. So if you look at the list of assignments and instructions, the first item is to make sure that I have approved your debatable topic. This was an assignment from last week. To do that, go up to grades and look for the assignment. And here you will see over in the comments and assessments, as well as your grade, you will see my feedback. Please make sure I have approved your topic. Sometimes I may suggest a slightly tweaked version of your topic. If you have any questions or if you need to contact me, please do so. Once you know your debatable topic, you are going to do some additional reading this week. Please make sure you read all of these articles. They are here within the Learning Management System and the links are provided, so please make sure you read each of those 3 sections. After you've done the reading, you will now find 2 articles that are about your debatable topic. One must come from our library database, and we're going to use Credo. The other can come from an internet search. So to find Credo, you're going to go to the My DTCC page. Over in the Student Success Toolbox, click on the Library Resources, and under the databases, you will see Credo reference. Once you're there, you can click in the or write in the search bar your debatable topic. So let's say it's gun control. Look to see how many results you got, and if it's quite a few, and in this case it's over 3,700, then restrict your search term a little bit. So let's put in here gun control debate. Now I have divided that into half, so that's getting better, but I still want to restrict my search to articles that deal with the issue. Credo mainly has encyclopedia and dictionary articles, reference materials, but you can find some pro-con types of articles, and that's what we want to do. So next to your research results, there's a drop-down that says All Types. Click that and then click Pro-Con. When you do that, you'll see that your result list has been significantly reduced. So of these 23 results, look through and find one that looks like it would work for your debatable topic. So you just look through all of them. Some of these seem a little off topic. But here is one on gun control laws, gun control. This one looks interesting. So pick one that you think would work for your topic. And then you can see the article. It often will give you the citation at the end. You want to be able to have access to this article. So in Credo, you can print out the article, which I would highly recommend. You could also share it. I think you could email it to yourself as well. So make sure that you will have continual access to this article. All right, for your Google search, or you could use other search engines, but Google works really well. Let's put in our search term. And I'm going to put in here gun control debate. So when you get the list, you will have to use your discrimination skills to make sure you're getting a good article. I will not allow Wikipedia. Don't click something that's an ad or sponsored. You could go into scholarly articles, but you need to be careful that they're not too old and that you can actually access the article and not just a synopsis of it. And you don't have to have a Google Scholar article for this assignment. If you're just looking through, look for reputable sites and look for articles, not just web pages with lots of links. So here is one with the BBC News. So it's also recent, 2022, and it is definitely an article, not just a collection of links. So this might work. Again, you need to keep access to this article. So if you can print it or email it to yourself or bookmark it, whatever it takes for you to be able to access this frequently. Okay, as you're searching for these articles, by the way, please keep a list of the search terms you used because you will need those for the next assignment. And that is to fill out the Literature Review Planner worksheet. This will get you ready for your first essay in English 102. So it's a worksheet, but the information you have here will be translated into your essay. So the first thing you're going to type is your debatable topic that was approved. Here is where you're going to put the search terms that you used as you were finding your two articles. And then here are going to be the sections of your final essay: the introduction, research questions, summary and analysis of source 1, summary and analysis of source 2, and reflection, and finally conclusion. So here you're just going to fill out the information. A little background on the topic: what is it, who's involved, did it become an issue, etc., etc. Scope of the literature means the two articles you found, how broadly or narrowly did they deal with this topic? Did they deal with just one narrow little piece of it or give a broad overview? So you want to discuss that. And then purpose of your literature review. So why are you looking at these two articles? Research questions: now that you've read two articles and you know your debatable topic, what are some questions that might help you further pursue this topic? What do you want to know about this topic? So you're going to come up with 3 questions and write them here. And for each one, just give your reflection on why you think this would be a helpful question for you to research this debatable issue. Then you're going to look at each of your articles. First of all, you're going to write all the citation information, and I've divided it so that source 1 is the one you found from the internet and source 2 is the one you found from Credo. So please keep them in that order because I ask you for the information pertinent to that source. So you're going to just fill in that information. If you don't have a piece of this, then say there is no author, or there would have to be a date. So I think pretty much all of it should be there. Then you're going to list the major details. This will be used to summarize the article. So leaving out all the minor details, just list in list form. Don't have to be in complete sentences, but what were the key points in order. And then answer the questions about how this source relates to your debatable issue or answers some of your questions. And then evaluate the source based on the CRAP test. And make sure you deal with all parts of the CRAP test, not just say it was good or it was bad. You're going to do the same thing for the article you found from Credo. So answer all of those questions. And then on the reflection, I think these questions are fairly self-explanatory. So read through those and answer those as best you can. And then the conclusion is just to restate why you're reviewing these two pieces of literature, if you will, and the significance of what you have found so far in your research. Finally, on the planner, I give you a model of a reference entry for something you found on the internet and something you found in a database. Using those models as best you can, they may not fit perfectly. Go ahead and try to format your source in this method. So with the authors first and the date and the parentheses and all of that good stuff. So just use it as a model. We'll be discussing this more later, or you will be learning more about this later, but use these models to help you type out the reference citation for your two sources. All right, and that is it. The planner is due by, as you can see, the due date. So make sure it is on time. It is a graded assignment, and if it's late, you would lose points. That's it. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.